Getting a comprehensive list of all the Jedi who survived Order 66 in the new canon has always been a little difficult, mainly due to the fact that, like Legends, this list is pretty large and always continues to grow with each new piece of content. Like for example in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, we finally got confirmation that Quinlan Vos did indeed survive thanks to a wall showing scribbles of Jedi that passed through Mapuzo. But he wasn't the only one, and unfortunately at the time of the episode's release we weren't able to make out the rest of the wall scribbles on who else survived. Well, that is until now, where as it turns out, some pretty notable Jedi from Legends have made their way into canon and were on Mapuzo at one point in time. The first of these is surprisingly actually Rahm Kota, who's a rather well-known Jedi Master in Legends throughout the Force Unleashed video games, having commanded his own militia force within both the Republic and later in the Rebel Alliance, and eventually went up against the likes of both Starkiller and Darth Vader. Interestingly enough, the only reason he survived Order 66 was due to there being no clones under his command during the genocide. Other names on the wall also include Dijin Altis, Roganda Ismarin, and Nikos Mar, who are each from the 1995 novel Star Wars: Children of the Jedi. Altis was a Jedi Master who survived Order 66 with the help of a Mandalorian named Cal Skirita, and then later having allegedly died on Dathomir. Ismarin was a Jedi youngling that survived by being smuggled but was afterwards captured by Imperial Inquisitors. She ended up however surviving the Imperial era by integrating herself into Imperial society and becoming Palpatine's consort. Mar was another Jedi youngling that fled the Purge by hiding on the planet Belsaphis thanks to Jedi Master Platt. Eventually leaving Belsaphis, Mar left his Jedi past behind him and started working as an AI programmer, until much later resuming his Jedi training under Luke Skywalker as a student on Yavin. Another trio that appears on the wall is Ekria, Zonder, and Drake Logan. These were a group of masterless Padawans that survived on Coruscant, having not been around clones, and would later become freelance crime fighters in the Coruscant underworld. Their story is from a series of only online exclusive web strips from 2004. A duo on the wall is Fable Aston and Corwin Shelvey, two characters who were from the role-playing games released in the 90s. Interestingly, Aston's parents were a Jedi Knight who had fallen in love with her Padawan, with, as a result, Aston being born after Order 66. She then took up Jedi training and would join the rebellion in sabotage missions against the Empire. Shelvey, on the other hand, was a college student that found a Sullustan Jedi Master called Darren Arcanine, and became his apprentice during the Imperial era. He would also join the Rebel Alliance as both a recruiter and an operative. Valen Halcyon's name is also on the wall, and this was a Corellian Jedi survivor who ended up becoming a member of the Corellian Security Force. As a child during Order 66, he survived by being adopted by a Rebel and Jedi sympathizer named Rostek Horn, who in turn used his experience in Coruscant to assist in hiding him from the Empire. Much of Halcyon's story is explored in the X-Wing Rogue Squadron novel series. It should also be mentioned that the kid, whom with his mother are looking for help from fake Jedi and conman Haja, is named Corrin, while his mother's name is Nish. And in Legends, Corrin was Halcyon's son while Nish was his wife. Another solo name is Tiberius Anderlock, who was a Jedi pilot that lived during the Imperial era. Nothing about his past in the Republic era or surviving Order 66 is exactly known, mainly due to him being an NPC in the Star Wars Galaxy's video game. But what we do know is Anderlock ends up becoming a target by the Empire, and the player, if they decide to join the Empire, sets off on a mission to kill him in the Dathomir system. Lastly, for Legends characters, there is Q Ran from the Jedi Knight Dark Forces novels and games. He was a Jedi Master, and like with Anderlock, there aren't any specifics on how exactly he evaded Order 66, other than he managed to do so. Rand would later reunite with Yoda and find the Valley of the Jedi, where he'd meet Kyle Katarn's father, Morgan. Through this friendship, he would eventually become Kyle's Jedi Master through as a Force Ghost due to having died at the hands of the Inquisitor named Jarek. That just about does it for the names on the wall of all the Jedi from Legends. Aside from those, there's also Seer Junda, who's a Jedi Knight that debuted in Jedi Fallen Order. She survived Order 66 with her Padawan Trilla Saduri, defeating the clones who had turned against them and went into hiding, taking several Jedi younglings with them. It should be noted, however, that it's unclear if Trilla and the younglings also came through Mapuzo or not, since their names aren't on the wall, or if Seer came here alone after losing them all. And that's all of the Jedi who seeked refuge in Mapuzo after Order 66. This is no doubt exciting for both Legends and Jedi fans, as more recognizable Jedi from Legends have now made their way into canon. But the question now remains, is this simply it for them, or will we see more from them in other content? Maybe even in live action? And if so, do you think Disney and Lucasfilm will keep their original backstories for the most part? Personally, I can see some of these stories working flawlessly in their transition into canon, while others, well, not so much. But even then, we've seen previous Legends into canon characters still retain important elements of their backstories within their transition into canon, even though there were some notable edits still made to them. So, could this happen of these Jedi too? Well, considering there's a good chance the Obi-Wan series could get a season 2, then maybe, just maybe, some of our questions may end up getting answered directly there.